Alright everybody, hop on board. This is a combined review of two of the more notable Sun Valley films. Although they prominently feature the luxurious resort area in Mount Baldy's powdery slopes, these movies were mostly shot in Hollywood. The second units provided the on-location photography, and stand-ins were used to film the ski sequences. When the actors appear to be skiing, the filmmakers use a rear screen projection during those scenes. For all you Gen Z types, that was how they did green screen back in the day. With World War II on the horizon, Sun Valley Serenade provided a lighthearted escape while also serving to boost tourism to the growing resort town. The story revolves around a big band's big break. Glenn Miller plays himself but as Phil Corey. His pianist Ted, played by John Payne, is our main man, and his PR rep Milton Berle provides the comedy relief. It doesn't matter what his role was, he's just Milton Berle. They recruit the illustrious Vivian Dawn, Lynn Barry, as their lead singer, which snags them the big-time contract. They are scheduled to open their new show in Sun Valley on Christmas Eve. Before they set out to Idaho, we learn that Ted has been previously roped into sponsoring a Norwegian refugee for some reason, who turns out to be Karen, a bubbly young lady played by the Olympic figure skater turned film actress Sonja Henie. Karen is instantly smitten with Ted, who feels awkward by the whole arrangement, and he has a thing for Vivian anyway, so he's reluctant to take her along for the gig. But Karen convinces old Uncle Milty to let her tag along with the band. Eventually, though, Ted warms up to her after a fun and well-photographed ski chase sequence. I believe it was the first major feature to capture the revolutionary new chairlift, which had been invented just 5 years earlier. If it's not, I'm sure y'all will let me know in the comments. Vivian, being the typical diva, stirs up drama, but the show must go on. They put on a grand figure skating show in a Hollywood authentic Sun Valley ice skating rink. Boy, can that gal spin. The end. John Payne isn't an especially strong leading man in this, and Sonja's faultless naivete feels a bit one-dimensional, so the love triangle storyline doesn't work as well. It's hard to be overly critical about this movie, considering what it is. Either you like 40s and 50s movie musicals or you don't. For those that do, you're probably in it for the music and the showmanship. How the music intertwines with the actors' performances and the chemistry between the leads is also a major factor. Basically, you're not necessarily looking for a compelling narrative or a Casablanca on ice, although a crooning Humphrey Bogart on skates would sell some tickets. You'd watch these type of movies for old-fashioned entertainment and some mild drama with likable stars. With that considered, Serenade is a solid film within the genre. Throw in some Glenn Miller standards throughout and the usual romantic comedy tropes and you got yourself a picture. Fortunately, Glenn Miller does more band leading and trombone playing than acting. Like Duchess of Idaho, it's a lighter-than-air movie with some swinging musical numbers and a talented cast. MGM's Technicolor musical of Sun Valley splendor. Duchess of Idaho certainly lives up to its tagline. Colors, fashion, dancing, singing, and swimming. Well, it's an Esther Williams film. What did you expect? For those not familiar, America's Mermaid, Esther Williams, is famous for appearing in big splashy movie musicals that feature her performing elaborate swimming and underwater routines. The Duchess of Idaho is no exception to Williams' crowd-pleasing formula. Many unconnected stage shows interrupted with brief moments of movie, held together by a bare-bones script. The barely there plot centers around a love quadrangle, or is it a love square, involving Ellen, her boss Douglas, roommate Christine, and a band leader, Dick Lane. Esther is the attention-getting roommate Christine, Paula Raymond is the forgettable Ellen, John Lund plays the boss, Mr. Morrison, and Van Johnson plays Van Johnson, but as Dick Lane, just like Glenn Miller. Got it? Good. All this romantic mess is stressing everyone out, so they decide to choo to Idaho to hit the Sun Valley slopes.
How would you like to go to Sun Valley?
Sun Valley?
Yes. I'm going up there for a few weeks. You can go with me.
When they're not skiing and puttering around the resort, you better believe they're singing and dancing.
Some do wrong. To one of these categories,
eventually, Morrison falls for Ellen, and Dick Lane successfully wears down Christine. Oops, spoiler alert. But you didn't need me to tell you that it all works out in the end. Followed by more swimming, of course. There's a fun little sequence involving the Duchess of Idaho competition. You may have guessed the crown and regalia involve potatoes. Basically, it's a dance contest where the partners have to hold a potato between their heads without letting it fall. It's good old-fashioned wholesome fun.
Pretty good at
Aw, shucks. Although these big brassy Hollywood musicals aren't really my thing, the stunning visuals, Van Johnson's likability, and Boss Morrison's sarcastic butler held my interest.
They always are.
There were some humorous moments like the potato scene and other gags to lightly chuckle at throughout the movie. The filmmakers do an adequate job showcasing Sun Valley as a happening resort area in both summer and winter, and somehow in the same trip. Well, that's movie magic for you. I'd rate this movie slightly higher than Sun Valley Serenade. The writing, actors' performances, and character development are more polished. The songs are also a bit more memorable, with Choo 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 to Idaho leading the pack.
Come on, let's go.
Serenade does a better job of integrating the music with the story, whereas Duchess has the swimming, the singing, the tap dancing, the swimming, and guest singing that all kind of randomly happen throughout the movie. Duchess gets props for production and performances, while Serenade edges, skating pun definitely intended, with swinging hits, skiing, and overall structure despite a goofier premise. So if you like 2 scoops of golden oldie Hollywood topped with a sprinkling of Idaho escapism, check these movies out and plan a trip to catch them. Ski lift technology and access to the mountain have improved a bit in the last 80 years or so. Take my word for it.